Have you ever felt like life was happening to you rather than for you? Like you were stuck in an endless loop of routines, worries, and unmet expectations, wondering if there's something more? Here's the truth. There is. Beneath the surface of everyday chaos lies a journey waiting to unfold. A journey that promises clarity, abundance, and a profound connection to your true self. But here's the kicker. This path isn't a straight line, and it doesn't look the same for everyone. You might have heard terms like spiritual awakening and brushed them off as abstract or unattainable. Yet the stages of awakening are far more relatable than you think. They don't require you to abandon your life, chant on mountaintops, or follow a rigid path. Instead, they're about uncovering layers of your being, shedding what no longer serves you, and stepping into a life aligned with your highest potential. The beauty of this journey is its accessibility. It's not reserved for monks, gurus, or sages. It's for anyone willing to explore the deeper truths of existence. Whether you're navigating emotional struggles, seeking a sense of purpose, or yearning for more prosperity and fulfillment, these stages act as a roadmap. And the best part? You don't have to go through them alone. In this video, we'll break down the 5 transformative stages of spiritual awakening, guiding you step by step through each phase. You'll discover how to move from feeling stuck and disconnected to living in harmony with your true self. By the end, you'll have actionable insights to start or deepen your journey, and you might just realize you've been awakening all along. Let's dive in and explore this incredible path together. Your journey to abundance, prosperity, and spiritual alignment begins now. Ready to uncover the stages that could change your life? Life in this stage can feel like being caught in a whirlwind, where thoughts and emotions rule the show. The ego is loud, constantly narrating and shaping how one interprets the world. Imagine waking up already burdened by yesterday's worries. This is how many live. Relationships may suffer as defensiveness takes over, turning simple misunderstandings into full-blown conflicts. It's a survival mode, one driven by fear, comparison, and the illusion of separation. Think about the tendency to take things personally. Someone cuts you off in traffic, and suddenly it feels like a personal attack. This happens because the ego loves to create stories, making you the hero or victim of every scenario. Abundance, prosperity, and wealth, they seem out of reach because the mind is stuck in a loop of lack. Recognizing this pattern is the first hint that there's more beyond this stage. Interestingly, most people don't even realize they're stuck here. They may feel the weight of dissatisfaction, but blame external circumstances, bad luck, an unfair boss, or even the economy. Yet this lens of lack keeps them locked in negativity. Think of it like wearing smudged glasses. Everything looks distorted, even the things meant to bring joy. Have you noticed this pattern in yourself or others? Take finances, for example. Someone operating in unconsciousness might constantly worry about money, unaware that their mindset is sabotaging their chances for abundance. They might cling to the idea that wealth is for others, not them. This belief shapes their actions or inactions, keeping them trapped. Without awareness, they unconsciously push opportunities away. Spirituality often feels like a foreign concept in this stage. Instead, there's a relentless focus on material success, driven by societal conditioning. People chase wealth, believing it will fill a void, only to find themselves feeling emptier. Even Buddhism, with its emphasis on mindfulness, may seem impractical or irrelevant. The ego dismisses anything that challenges its grip, keeping one in this cycle of discontent. But there's a paradox here. Though life feels predetermined, moments of stillness, like watching a sunrise or hearing a child's laughter, can spark a faint sense of connection. These glimpses are often brushed aside as fleeting, but they hint at something deeper. It's like a quiet knock on the door of the soul, inviting one to wake up. Have you felt that nudge? As this stage unfolds, the discomfort grows, often paving the way for change. The frustration, though painful, serves a purpose. It plants the seed for transformation. And here's the irony. The louder the ego gets, the closer one may be to breaking free from its hold. This is the stage where the journey towards spirituality and self-awareness begins, setting the stage for the ego's eventual unraveling. Ego death is not an easy experience. It's like the ground beneath you is suddenly gone. The identity you once clung to begins to crumble, leaving you questioning everything. Who are you beyond your job title, relationships, or beliefs? This stage often arrives uninvited, triggered by a life crisis, deep meditation, or even the relentless whispers of dissatisfaction. It's uncomfortable, messy, and paradoxically freeing. Imagine someone who's always defined themselves as successful, suddenly losing their career. At first, it feels like losing a part of themselves, because, in a way, they have. The ego resists, throwing tantrums of self-pity, anger, or fear. But beneath the chaos lies an opportunity to connect with something deeper. It's here that the concept of the observer self emerges, showing there's more to life than the ego's fleeting attachments. The process can feel disorienting, like stepping into a dense fog where nothing makes sense. Old beliefs about wealth, prosperity, and abundance may feel inadequate, as they were built on the shaky foundation of ego. This isn't about abandoning success, but redefining it. For instance, rather than chasing external validation, one might begin valuing inner peace, a wealth the ego can't comprehend. Practical tools can help navigate this tumultuous stage. Practices like journaling can unearth hidden patterns and beliefs. Ask yourself, what do I fear losing? Or, who am I without my achievements? Meditation, too, is vital here, as it allows you to witness the ego's drama without becoming entangled in it. Books like The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle can offer profound insights into detachment and living beyond the ego. As the ego dissolves, a sense of emptiness often follows. It's a terrifying yet necessary part of the process, like clearing a room before redecorating. In this void, the seeds of spirituality begin to sprout. The teachings of Buddhism, with their focus on impermanence and non-attachment, resonate deeply here, offering solace and direction. It's a reminder that this loss is actually a gain in disguise. However, the ego doesn't give up easily. It may try to rebuild itself in subtler ways, through spiritual pride or new labels like enlightened. This stage requires vigilance, as the journey is ongoing. But each breakdown brings clarity, revealing the authentic self beneath the layers of conditioning. Have you noticed how life strips away what no longer serves you? Ego death feels like chaos, but it's a necessary destruction that paves the way for a more aligned existence. The cracks in the ego let in the light of truth, inviting one to explore a new way of being. And this curiosity, this hunger for understanding, leads naturally to the next stage, the search for deeper meaning. The search begins with an undeniable longing, a pull towards something greater than what life has shown so far. Questions like, what is my purpose? Or, why am I here? Take center stage. It's not a casual curiosity, but a deep yearning, as if the soul itself is stirring awake. This stage often feels like stepping into uncharted territory, driven by both wonder and frustration. The old ways no longer satisfy, but the new path isn't yet clear. In this stage, people often turn to spiritual texts, mentors, or communities to seek answers. The teachings of the Buddha, with their timeless wisdom on suffering and liberation, frequently resonate. Books like The Untethered Soul by Michael A. Singer or Man's Search for Meaning by Viktor Frankl become companions on this journey. Meditation, journaling, or even walks in nature become practices to connect with the deeper self. It's a time of exploration and discovery. This stage can also feel isolating, as not everyone understands the seeker's hunger for meaning. Conversations about abundance and prosperity may shift, less about material wealth and more about inner richness. Some might call it a midlife crisis, but for the seeker, it's a breakthrough, not a breakdown. It's the soul's way of saying, there's more to life than this. Practical steps in this phase include experimenting with different spiritual practices. Meditation, for example, offers a direct line to the stillness within, while gratitude journaling rewires the mind for abundance. Want to deepen your search? Try setting aside 10 minutes each morning to sit in silence, asking, what do I truly desire? You might be surprised at what emerges when the noise of the world fades away. As the search unfolds, synchronicities often appear. Chance encounters, meaningful coincidences, or a book falling into your hands at just the right moment. These signs feel like breadcrumbs leading toward your truth. For instance, a seeker might stumble upon a meditation retreat or meet someone who shares transformative wisdom. These moments remind them they're on the right path, even when doubt creeps in. Yet the search isn't always smooth. Doubts arise, old patterns resurface, and progress can feel frustratingly slow. But this discomfort is part of the process. It pushes the seeker to go deeper, to question even the questions themselves. Like a miner sifting through dirt for gold, the search requires patience and persistence. It's not about finding all the answers, but embracing the journey itself. The search sets the foundation for profound transformation. Each insight and experience builds toward a more authentic life, peeling back the layers of illusion. And as the seeker starts shedding what's false, they inch closer to uncovering their true essence. This awakening leads naturally to the next stage, the emergence of the authentic self. The emergence of the authentic self feels like a homecoming, yet it's entirely unfamiliar. After shedding layers of societal conditioning, people begin to glimpse their true essence. It's a transformative process where the masks of should and must are replaced by the freedom of I am. Imagine stepping out of a costume you've worn for years and realizing the real you was waiting underneath. This stage is raw, powerful, and deeply liberating. As authenticity surfaces, old habits, relationships, or even careers may no longer align. It's not uncommon for someone in this stage to leave a high-paying job to pursue a passion that feels truer to their soul. This isn't about rejecting wealth but redefining it, seeing abundance as an alignment of purpose, peace, and prosperity. Real wealth becomes the ability to live in harmony with one's deepest truth. Emotional and physical changes are common during this stage, as years of pent-up energy are released. For instance, tears may flow unexpectedly, or you might feel a burst of energy after weeks of exhaustion. These shifts are the body's way of recalibrating to this new state of being. Practices like yoga, breathwork, or even dancing can help move this energy, creating space for authenticity to thrive. At the heart of this stage is self-acceptance. The authentic self doesn't seek perfection, but embraces wholeness. This means acknowledging flaws, fears, and vulnerabilities as part of the human experience. Imagine looking in the mirror and seeing not just your reflection, but your essence, the you that exists beyond appearances and achievements. This self-love is the foundation of true abundance. For many, this stage sparks a desire to simplify life, letting go of material excess or draining obligations. Instead of chasing external markers of success, people start valuing experiences, connections, and purpose. For instance, someone might trade a luxury car for a road trip in a camper, seeking not status but freedom. These choices reflect a shift from ego-driven desires to soul-centered living. However, stepping into authenticity isn't without challenges. The world often rewards conformity, and being true to yourself may provoke resistance from others. Yet, this resistance is a sign you're on the right track. It means you're no longer playing small. Surrounding yourself with supportive communities or mentors can make this transition smoother. Seek out spaces where your authenticity is celebrated, not questioned. As the authentic self takes root, life begins to feel lighter, more aligned, and deeply fulfilling. This isn't the end of the journey, but a powerful pivot point. From here, the focus shifts to living in harmony, not just with oneself, but with the world. And that's where the next stage comes in, a life of alignment. A life of alignment feels like flowing downstream after years of swimming against the current. The struggle dissipates, replaced by a profound sense of ease and clarity. In this stage, the mind, body, and soul operate in harmony, making decisions feel intuitive and effortless. Imagine waking up every day knowing you're exactly where you're meant to be. That's alignment. It's a state of being where abundance naturally follows. This harmony extends to every aspect of life. Relationships deepen as compassion and understanding replace judgment and ego-driven conflicts. For example, instead of reacting to a partner's criticism, you pause, recognizing their words as a reflection of their own struggles. Such shifts create space for love to flourish. Prosperity, too, takes on a new meaning. It's not just material wealth, but a sense of richness in connections and experiences. Living in alignment often means embracing interconnectedness. You start to see how your actions ripple out, affecting others, animals, and even the environment. It's like realizing you're part of a grand symphony where every note contributes to the whole. For instance, you might switch to sustainable practices, not out of obligation, but because it feels natural to honor the world around you. This awareness transforms how you engage with life. Daily practices help maintain this state of balance, Meditation becomes a sacred pause to reconnect with the inner self, while gratitude anchors you in the present. Journaling can deepen this connection. Try reflecting on moments that felt aligned each day. These habits aren't chores, they're tools to keep you tuned into your truth. Over time, they create a foundation for a life that feels abundant and grounded. Challenges still arise in this stage, but they're met with resilience and grace. Instead of resisting difficulties, you learn to see them as opportunities for growth. For example, a financial setback might spark creative solutions or deeper gratitude for what remains. This mindset shift is what allows abundance and prosperity to flow, even in times of uncertainty. Alignment doesn't eliminate struggles, it transforms how you navigate them. A key aspect of alignment is unconditional self-love. It's the recognition that your worth isn't tied to accomplishments or approval. This deep love radiates outward, fostering compassion for others. Have you ever noticed how a kind word to a stranger can change their entire day? That's the power of living in harmony. It creates a ripple effect of positivity that touches everything around you. As alignment deepens, life feels increasingly interconnected and purposeful. You start to embody the teachings of spirituality and practices like Buddhism, not as concepts, but as a way of life. This stage is a profound shift from seeking to being. And while it might seem like the journey ends here, it's actually just the beginning of ongoing evolution, a journey as infinite as the universe itself. Interconnectedness is the quiet realization that nothing exists in isolation. Every action, thought, and intention ripples outward, shaping the world in ways we can't always see. It's like noticing how a single drop of water creates waves across a still pond. This awareness deepens as you begin to sense a connection with nature, animals, and even inanimate objects. Suddenly, life feels less like a series of random events and more like an intricate, beautifully woven web. Take a walk in nature, and you'll feel this connection. Notice how the trees sway in harmony with the wind, or how birds instinctively know when to take flight together. It's not chaos, it's synchronicity. This same harmony exists within us, though we often forget it. Practicing mindfulness outdoors, feeling the earth under your feet, the breeze on your skin, can rekindle this awareness. It's in these moments that abundance feels tangible, as though life itself is offering you its wealth. Interconnectedness also shifts how we relate to others. Instead of seeing people as separate, we begin to recognize the threads that bind us. For example, when a friend is hurting, you might feel their pain as if it were your own. This isn't weakness, it's compassion, the natural outcome of understanding our shared humanity. Buddhism beautifully captures this idea, teaching that kindness to others is kindness to oneself. This perspective extends to how we view prosperity. Wealth isn't just personal, it's collective. Imagine sharing resources with a community and watching it thrive. Everyone benefits. This interconnected approach can be seen in businesses that prioritize sustainability or individuals who give back to their communities. When prosperity is shared, it grows, creating a cycle of abundance that uplifts everyone involved. Interconnectedness also brings a sense of humility. You realize that while you're an integral part of the whole, you're not the center of it. This shift can be humbling yet liberating, as it takes the pressure off needing to control everything. Have you ever noticed how letting go often leads to things falling into place? It's as if the universe steps in when we stop trying to micromanage it. Practical ways to cultivate this sense of connection include meditation, especially practices focused on loving kindness. Try dedicating 5 minutes a day to silently wish well-being for others, whether they're loved ones or strangers. Another practice is volunteering, which allows you to directly experience the joy of contributing to something larger than yourself. These small acts remind us that true wealth lies in connection, not accumulation. The more you embrace interconnectedness, the more life feels like a dance rather than a struggle. This awareness doesn't just transform how you live, it transforms how you perceive the world. And as you deepen this understanding, you naturally begin to cultivate a compassionate acceptance, not just for others, but for yourself as well. Compassionate acceptance begins with a deep breath, a pause that says, "It's okay to be human." In a world that often demands perfection, this mindset is revolutionary. It's not about giving up or settling, It's about embracing the reality of imperfections, both in yourself and others. Imagine looking at a cracked vase and seeing its unique beauty instead of its flaws. This shift allows peace and understanding to replace judgment and resistance. When you accept yourself fully, life becomes lighter. You stop chasing impossible standards and start appreciating who you are right now. For instance, think of a time when you forgave yourself for a mistake. Didn't it feel like a weight was lifted? This kind of acceptance doesn't hinder growth, it fuels it. Only by embracing where you are can you move forward with grace and intention. Compassion for others follows naturally from self-acceptance. Instead of viewing people through a lens of expectations, you see them as they truly are, flawed, evolving, and worthy of kindness. Consider the Buddhist concept of metta, or loving kindness, which teaches us to wish for the happiness of all beings, including those who challenge us. It's a reminder that everyone is on their own unique path, just like you. Practical steps can bring compassionate acceptance into daily life. One powerful exercise is journaling about moments of gratitude and self-forgiveness. Write down 3 things you appreciate about yourself and 1 thing you're letting go of. This practice rewires your mind to focus on what's good rather than what's lacking. It's a small but profound way to cultivate abundance from within. This perspective also transforms how you approach relationships. Instead of clinging to expectations, you start appreciating people for who they are. Imagine accepting a friend's lateness without frustration, knowing they're trying their best. This doesn't mean tolerating harmful behavior, but understanding that everyone has their struggles. Compassionate acceptance allows relationships to thrive in authenticity. Challenges often arise when we resist what is. Life has a way of presenting lessons disguised as difficulties. A financial setback, for instance, might feel like failure, but through compassionate acceptance, it can become a chance to reassess priorities and redefine prosperity. When you let go of resistance, abundance flows more freely. Not because life changes, but because your perspective does. As you embrace this mindset, you'll notice a profound shift in your spiritual journey. Compassionate acceptance becomes the bridge between inner peace and outward harmony. It teaches that wealth isn't just material, it's the richness of understanding, love, and connection. And this realization prepares you for the final layer of the journey, ongoing evolution, where acceptance and growth go hand in hand. Spiritual practices are like anchors in the vast ocean of personal growth, grounding us while we navigate transformation. Meditation, for example, isn't just about sitting still. It's about tuning into your inner world. Imagine closing your eyes and feeling your breath, each inhale and exhale, connecting you to the present moment. This simple act can bring clarity and calm, making space for abundance and prosperity to flourish. Another powerful practice is mindfulness, which can turn even mundane activities into moments of connection. Washing dishes becomes a meditation when you focus on the warmth of the water and the rhythm of your movements. This presence transforms ordinary tasks into opportunities to align with your authentic self. Over time, these moments of awareness compound, creating a life rooted in spirituality and intentionality. Reading sacred texts or spiritually rich books can also guide this journey. For instance, exploring Buddhist teachings or works like The Untethered Soul by Michael A. Singer can spark profound insights. These texts remind us that wealth isn't confined to material possessions. It's found in wisdom, compassion, and inner peace. Regularly immersing yourself in such teachings keeps your spiritual flame alive. As you engage in these practices, you might notice unexpected physical or emotional shifts. These are the symptoms of spiritual growth. Heightened intuition, vivid dreams, or even bursts of energy are common as your awareness deepens. For example, you may suddenly sense the emotions of those around you more acutely, reflecting a growing connection to the world. These changes, though sometimes disorienting, are signs of progress. It's important to approach these symptoms with curiosity rather than fear. If you experience sudden fatigue, for example, it could be your body's way of urging rest during a period of intense transformation. Practices like yoga or gentle stretching can help balance this energy. Remember, the journey isn't linear. There will be peaks and valleys, each offering valuable lessons. Community plays a crucial role in supporting spiritual practices. Joining a meditation group, attending a retreat, or even connecting with like-minded individuals online can provide encouragement and accountability. These spaces often spark new ideas and deepen your understanding of interconnectedness. Sharing your experiences with others also reinforces the sense that you're part of something greater than yourself. Spiritual practices aren't just routines, they're tools for evolving into your highest self. Each breath in meditation, each mindful step, and each moment of gratitude brings you closer to alignment. As you continue these practices, you'll notice that the symptoms of growth, both joyful and challenging, are guiding you towards something greater. And this process seamlessly leads into the final realization. Ongoing evolution. Ongoing evolution is the realization that the spiritual journey doesn't have a finish line. Just when you think you've reached the summit, another peak appears on the horizon. This isn't discouraging. It's exhilarating. Life continually invites you to deepen your understanding and refine your perspective. Think of it as a spiral rather than a straight path, where each loop brings you closer to your authentic self. This journey often circles back to earlier stages, but with new awareness. For example, you might revisit ego struggles, but this time you recognize them more quickly and respond with grace. It's like rereading a favorite book and discovering layers you missed the first time. These loops are not setbacks. They're opportunities to integrate lessons more deeply, creating a richer foundation for abundance and prosperity. Flexibility is key in navigating this never-ending growth. Imagine a tree bending in the wind. It doesn't resist but moves with the flow, rooted in its strength. Similarly, staying open to change allows you to adapt and thrive. Whether it's shifting career paths, embracing new spiritual practices, or letting go of outdated beliefs, evolution requires a willingness to grow beyond your comfort zone. One practical way to embrace ongoing evolution is to set intentions rather than rigid goals. Intentions focus on the journey, not just the destination. For instance, instead of aiming to achieve wealth, you might intend to cultivate habits that align with prosperity. This mindset creates space for unexpected opportunities and ensures your growth is guided by purpose rather than pressure. Another hallmark of evolution is the growing ability to hold paradoxes. You learn that light and shadow, joy and sorrow are all part of the same dance. A setback might teach resilience. A moment of loss might deepen gratitude. These contrasts enrich your experience, reminding you that spirituality is about embracing the full spectrum of life. In doing so, you embody true abundance. Reflection becomes a vital practice in this stage. Journaling, for instance, can help you track patterns and notice how far you've come. Look back on entries from months ago and marvel at the transformations. This practice not only reinforces growth, but also highlights the interconnectedness of your journey. You'll start to see how every experience, even the challenging ones, has contributed to your evolution. Ultimately, ongoing evolution teaches that the journey itself is the destination. There's no point of arrival where you'll suddenly have it all figured out. Instead, each moment offers a chance to expand, learn, and love more deeply. As this realization sinks in, you step into life with a sense of curiosity and wonder, ready to embrace whatever comes next. And that's where the real adventure begins. As you reflect on these stages, take a moment to ask yourself, where am I in this journey? Have you just begun to question the life you're living, or are you already stepping into your authentic self with clarity and purpose? No matter where you are, know this. Spiritual awakening isn't about reaching a final destination. It's about embracing the unfolding process. It's about becoming more of who you truly are, aligning with abundance, and trusting that each step is guiding you toward greater prosperity, fulfillment, and peace. But don't just stop here. The real transformation begins when you start applying what you've learned. Take a few minutes each day to meditate, reflect, and set intentions that align with your true path. Remember, every practice, whether big or small, adds to your evolution. So what action will you take today to move further along your journey? Will you start by practicing compassion towards yourself? Or maybe by deepening your connection with nature? The choice is yours. The road may not always be easy, but every challenge carries a lesson. And each moment of doubt is an invitation to grow. Share your experiences, embrace the discomfort, and trust that the universe is always supporting you. You are a vital part of this vast, interconnected world. And the more you align with that truth, the more wealth, both spiritual and material, will flow into your life. I'd love to hear from you. Share your thoughts, questions, or experiences in the comments below. How are you navigating your own spiritual awakening? Let's support each other on this transformative journey. Don't forget to subscribe and activate notifications so you won't miss the next video, packed with even more insights to help you on your path to spiritual abundance. Together, we can continue to awaken and grow.